Hey everybody, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So this is going to be a really quick video. I just want to kind of share some things that I have sprouting in my container pots. In this room of our house, it's clearly, you can tell by the frosted window that it's probably a bathroom. Big surprise. But this is a north-facing window. And I found that when I sprouted some jackfruit trees a couple years ago, I sprouted them in my kitchen area, which is on the same side of the house, so north facing in direct sunlight. And it's done quite well. So I had this on my south facing wall, or window area in my living room, which was the street side of the house, and my dog, every time I would come home, he would knock my plants over. So I needed to take a couple of the plants out of the front window area so that he's less likely to knock everything over when I get home. So I went ahead and I brought the jackfruit tree starts, which is in this pot right here. And I brought this into my bathroom, and now this entire layer on the top here, there is seeds all over. I just kind of laid them in the pot because I had limited space for growing, and I wanted to get the seeds going right away, because what I've noticed is with certain types of fruits and so forth, it's better to get them started right away than to let the seed dry out. A lot of the times certain seeds need to be started while they're, moist, and you don't want the seed to dry out. That's just something from my own experience that I've noticed, and I pretty much guessed that jackfruit is probably one of those seeds. So I don't have to harden off the seed, and so that's really, really good. And I just put them in the dirt and put lukewarm water over the soil. And so I've gotten all of this in the last week. All of these have come up. You can see clearly this one is the tallest, and then these two came up after that one. And right now we've got some action happening. I've got a few coming up here. You can see at least 4. So I'll point them out. There's one here, and then there's these 2, and then there's one right over here on this side. And if I move my camera a little bit, there's another one here, and then we've got this little one popping up here. And if you look really, really close, you can see there's a crack going across here. So this whole section, there's seeds lining the entire container pot. So out of how many that I planted, I've already got quite a few popping up. I'll probably either sell or give away the plants, or sell them next to nothing in the spring. There's probably a lot of people who would love to have a jackfruit tree, and you in this region, Pacific Northwest, you will definitely have to keep them indoors in a container pot during the winter. Then you can take them outside for the summer. I did notice that when I had them before, the leaves got sunburned. So if you have them indoors, don't put your plant directly into the sun outside thinking, oh, I'm going to let them have the sun. You have to, when things are protected somewhat from the sun, the leaves will burn on them so much quicker. I've noticed that even with growing in the greenhouse, the light is different within the greenhouse. And if I take them to a more sunny part of, say, the yard, where they're getting direct sunlight, I've noticed my leaves get burnt on a little pear tree that I had, and on my cherry trees and stuff, because I was trying to get more growth out of them for this season. So I had been keeping them in the greenhouse to encourage more height on the trees. And so it's really important. In the spring, I'll take them outside, but I'll make sure that they have a little bit more indirect sunlight. And so I'll keep them more in the shady part. and build it up to going into direct sunlight. So that's key right there. I'll show you my other tree that I have in my bathroom here, and of all of the avocados that I grew this year, this is the one that I ended up keeping for myself. This will be an indoor plant. I'm not really planning on taking it outdoors a whole lot, maybe in the spring, taking it outdoors. Same thing with this. I will not put it in direct sun because the leaves will get burnt. So you have to build it up again. Build up before you put them out into direct sunlight. So I have more plants here in my house, and I'll keep you guys updated as to the growth of them. I'm not going to go into measurements or anything like that because I had somebody comment about measurements, which was kind of ironic because I had just been talking about the fact that here in the US we don't use metric, but the rest of the world uses metric. And I'm like, why on earth would we go away from using what the rest of the world uses to have our own yards, feet, inches, ounces, quarts, pints, what have you, all the weird measurements we have here in the United States. The rest of the world operates on a completely different scale, like grams, liters, meters. It's completely different. The measurements are completely different. Like they do, kilometers per hour, in Europe, and whereas we do miles per hour, which is completely different. And our mile is actually, I think I'm wanting to say our mile's actually longer than for their miles. So it's like kilometers. So kilometer, I think, is shorter than our mile. Anyway, so measurements get all wonky. It's all completely different. And, I grew up with this. This is the way I was taught. I don't by any means consider myself dumb in any way, but I just think that we just need to be respectful of other people who live in other countries, and not judge everybody based on what they say or what they've learned in their lives, because we're all directly affected by the environment in which we grow up. And say I grew up in Europe, I would be operating on the metric measurements and stuff, and it wouldn't be a problem. I am going to give it a go, though. I am going to give it a shot, and I'm going to have to teach myself because we're not really taught a whole lot of the metric style of measurements. But figured I'd go ahead and touch on that since that was a topic today. And so I won't get into all the other aspects of the conversation because I think we'll just keep it at metric, and I'll give it a go and see how it goes. But anyways, I'm not going to guess by any means how tall this is in metric height at this point because I need to learn. Yeah, I mean, I think we do learn like centimeters and millimeters in school here, but that's about the extent of the metric learning that we really get in school here. We get yards and feet and inches and that sort of thing. But anyhow, you guys, thanks so much for watching my video. This is my little avocado tree. It's doing amazing. It's got some new growth happening here. It's going to be putting on some new leaves and things. And so it's doing awesome. And then my jackfruit trees, totally cool. I ended up giving my other jackfruit trees to my mother. So these ones will be for me and for other people in my area. I'm sure there will be some people who have little greenhouses or have a really nice room in their home for them. This one will actually do really good if I keep it indoors. Having a jackfruit tree in the living room that'll have really, really pretty evergreen type leaves as long as the house stays a certain temperature. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day and God bless. Love y'all. Bye.